Watch what you bet, Teddy. T is for Temple here. Fight, fight, fight for the cherry and the white. We'll see if they can do it again because revenge is on the mind of those Houston Cougars. They're going to tee it up at the Fertitta Center, the newly improved Fertitta Center down there. There's only been one loss, Teddy, on that record for the Houston Cougars, and that was to those Temple Owls on the road. So they look to make amends tonight, and the line is telling you Houston should make amends, but will they cover? -9.5. Total of 142. Moneyline split plus 400, -525. 7 o'clock national ESPN2. Should be a good one here. Temple's got to stamp it. Look, they blew a couple games here, blew a game recently to the Cincinnati Bearcats that they should have won at home after staking a nice lead. Now you got to go on the road and try to improve that resume, but can they do it? Houston's been really good, especially at home this year. Perfect 15-0 and also a 9-5-1 against the spread. But Teddy, Temple Owls pretty good on the road covering those numbers.
They sure have been. And again, the point spread is the great equalizer. Houston can get their revenge tonight, and I expect that they will, and still not cover the point spread, given that we're talking about a 9.5 in most locations as we speak. Of course, you know, when you have one loss all year and now you're getting your revenge match for that team at home and you're the superior squad and your opponent is struggling a little bit. You talked about the losses that they've had, you know, that bad loss to Penn, you know, 2 losses at home in the last 3 ball games for the Temple Owls. You say, all right, there's a good case here for the Cougs to lay it, except the one key component. Find me a game Temple lost by more than 10 yesterday. They lost 1 at Nova. They could lose here by 10, but the Owls have been consistently competitive in this road dog role, which makes me a little bit reluctant to lay the inflated price with the Cougs in that revenge matchup this evening.
Yep, we'll be here in Philadelphia, Teddy, as I know you don't like to hear this, but I will be rooting for my Temple Owls there. Shiz Alston, Quentin Rose, and also Nate Pierre-Lewis. I will root them in, Teddy. Not to say I'm going to bet the game, but I'm going to be a fan tonight. Are you okay with that? I just want to check. Are you okay?
Yeah, you can root. You're allowed. You're allowed. And certainly, you know, but, you know, don't do it often.
No, absolutely not. Can Penn State finally get off the mat, Teddy? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, is Temple your official team? Because Philly's got like 5 teams.
Yes, Temple has always been our official team. Since the John Chaney days, where they were playing at McGonigal Hall as opposed to the Liacouras Center, was like a high school gym in there. We've always liked that. Sort of went the wrong direction a little bit when we lost Rasheed Wallace to Carolina, but they've always been in our hearts here, Teddy, in the city.
Heart of hearts.
Penn State, Teddy, getting off the mat. Can they actually get a win in the Big Ten? What's taking so long for them anyway? And not only getting a win in the Big Ten, can we start covering some games for the Nittany Lions? They're coming into this game +7, total of 137.5, money line split, -270, +230. National game on Fox Sports 1, 7 o'clock tip on the East Coast. Is Purdue just going to keep rolling along, or is Penn State going to have some pride here, Teddy, and get up off that mat and get a win?
I mean, Penn State just lost at home to Rutgers, and again, they had a chance to win. All they have to do is execute on both ends down the stretch, and they're not capable of doing that. So, here's a point spread range where, if they're going to have to be competitive, they're going to have to make a couple of plays down the stretch in order to cover the number. Hard for me to trust the Nittany Lions to do that now. And when you're talking about a team that, again, winless in Big Ten play at this stage of the campaign, doesn't look like Pat Chambers is going to survive this. So now you have a lame duck head coach. I don't want teams like Penn State right now. I really don't. That profile of the underachieving team with the head coach on the hot seat, and now they're catching fewer points because they're at home. No. I don't know that I love the spot here for Purdue. They're coming off a nice win against Michigan State, and now they got to go on the highway, and you worry about the focus for the Boilermakers. But this isn't a spot where I'm excited about the home dog, especially given their poor ATS track record on this floor this season, covering only 3 times in 10 tries.
Teddy, I got to leave early in the morning there to catch a flight to Costa Rica tomorrow to go over the betcast, but I might have to pull an all-nighter tonight because the Philadelphia 76ers are headed to play the Golden State Warriors in a litmus test, and points are we expected tonight, Teddy? 240 as a total, maybe even higher than that. Sixers getting close to 10 points. Looks like the Warriors right now at 9.5. Money line split +360, -470. 10:30 p.m. national game out on the West Coast. What gives you tonight, Teddy? Litmus test for the Sixers? Can we rise up? Or is this just saying Golden State saying, hey, little kids over there, settle down now. The world champions are in the building.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's really hard for me to step in front of the Warriors right now. I mean, when you look at what they've done since DeMarcus Cousins arrived on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they haven't just been beating teams. They've been throttling teams. They have looked as good as any team in the NBA by, over the last decade. Golden State's scary right now. Scary good. And Philly's going to get their attention. So, no, I'm not going to step in front of the Warriors, especially given a little under-the-radar trend for you. Sixers have been dogs of, I think it's 5 points or more, only 6 times all year. Now, the next point spread they cover in this range will be the first. They're 0-6 as a bigger dog. But it's worth noting, they've only been like +8 or higher once all season. They failed to cover that number. This is only the second time in that role. I like everything about Philadelphia except their opponent. I like the way they came out and played in L.A. the other day. I certainly look at this Sixers team as being a serious contender in the East, despite some, fits and starts through the first half of the campaign. Philly's scary, Philly's dangerous, and Philly's coming to play. All that being said, I'm not fading the Warriors. You guys can fade the Warriors. I'm not going to do it. That team's too good right now. And it's a fascinating game to watch. Tough one for me to bet on.